diverting people away from the truth in Christ. He would mention Christ, he'd bring Christ into his musings, but he would never, there was never a submission there. It was always there was some derivative, he would derive something from the narrative, but it would never be what Christianity was really about.
I mean, but there's no really arguing his philosophy. He's like agnostic and says like the concept of ego is something that's made up in the West, quite literally just correct.
Yeah, I hate the ego talk. I think it's stupid.
I think it's quite literally correct. We are a society that has created identity, put identity in our language, and then now you think Andrew is a thing. Andrew is not actually.
Hold on. Ego is just weird because people are like, oh yeah, we're at war with the ego and talking about the id and all this different stuff. These aren't terms that I think are situated very well in like an analytic Western 2025 modern mindset. It's just kind of a weird way to speak, and I think we should use terms that have a little more clarity. But as far as identity goes, yeah, you are not me, Ray. We're different, brother.
No, I am you, dude.
No, you quite literally are not.
No, Andrew. Oh man, I wish I could have this conversation. I need to.
Hey, Andrew.
I of course quite.
Go fuck yourself.
You too, Tay. Good to have you.
I'm joking.
Hey, Tay. The thing is, you're gay, and that's why you say things like "go fuck yourself" to Andrew because you want to screw him all day.
Ray, shut the fuck up. Are you rapping or what?
that was rap. Yeah. My bad. Andrew,
Ray,
when you say you're not,
brother.
Does God exist? Short answer,
hold on,
yes.
Tay, hold on real quick. Ray, when you're done fornicating and doing whatever you're gonna do, can you come back?
Hello, Andrew. Yeah, I can. Okay, yeah, I for like 10, 15 minutes, but then I need to sleep for work. But Andrew, when you say you are not me.
Yeah, I am not you. There's a division between you and I. That's why you don't share my thoughts. There's identification.
Okay, so you want to abstract that level. Let's abstract at a different level. Are you made up of nitrogen, carbon, oxygen? Yeah, okay, you are. Okay, so let's take the summation of those particles. Are the summation of those particles different than the summation of the particles like right next to you? Like, is the oxygen in your body a fundamentally different thing than the oxygen in the air right next to you?
No, that's fine. I mean,
it's not. So then you and I are the same thing.
No, I don't agree with that, brother, because the problem is you don't believe in any immaterial existence. You don't think there's anything immaterial. And I don't think consciousness and qualia or phenomenology, all this whatever. I don't think that first person experience, I don't think you can, that just is the equivalent of physical matter. And I don't think it just emerges when it's put in a certain,
because Andrew, that is what you have to believe.
No, it's not even that. No, brother. It is so extremely counterintuitive. I think you would have to be really stretching yourself to try to make sense of the fact that you have consciousness from physical matter arranged in certain patterns.
So digestion happens and that's physical.
Digestion is just a process.
And anything cardiological happens and
that's processes interact.
Anything in my central nervous system happens. Yeah. Well, I guess the brain includes the central nervous. But anything in my respiratory system happens in that physical. But once we talk about the central nervous system and we talk about the functions of the brain, that's non-physical.
Yeah, intentionality and thoughts and planning and memory, all of that, and in your experience of it, and you're able to.
Dude, Andrew, you realize that's no different than saying the roots, they're physical. The bark, it's physical.
Yeah,
that's physical. Water in the tree.
Yeah, we agree that's physical. That's why you can say that to me.
The leaves, the thing on the top, the thing that I really like to look at, that's not physical. Like, bro,
what are you talking about? The thing on the top? No. That's not like that.
But look at the quality of the green.
No, to say it's an
emergent. Look at the shape of the leaf.
Yeah,
dude, you're just calling out random things in the brain.
You think that the consciousness is an emergent property of physical property, and you think it's physical? It's all just physical. Everything is physical.
Yes, Andrew, but you know what I actually believe? I believe that it's so related, and I actually think, Andrew, that Christianity is going to go away for this reason. I'm not kidding. It's so fundamentally related, specifically consciousness and Homo sapiens, and probably consciousness in other animals like smart animals.
It is going to go away.
It's so related to quantum physics, and we have not updated any language, the English language, to talk about quantum physics. We don't understand how to talk about quantum physics. And when we do eventually update and augment our language, then we will understand how consciousness arose. And it's not going to be like a simple, like, oh, it's just a product of physical system. It's more complex than that. We're going to develop more complex language to talk about it, and then you won't need to have any musings about Christianity.
You're not going to hear about none of this confusion and all of this fiction.
Well,
Rich,
coming from what are you, a
you're not
pantheist
gonna.
now?
It's gonna be. Give me a second, Andrew. Why do you have to cut me off when I'm speaking, brother?
You're
Can you give me a second?
Well,
You don't have to cut me off when I'm speaking, brother. Show love. Show love. I don't know why you're laughing.
Shalom, because you're a pantheist.
I
and
said
you're
show
talking about all
love.
of this
I said show love.
Oh, shalom and show love.
I didn't say shalom. I said
Well, you
show
should say shalom.
love.
You should say shalom.
No, I shouldn't have.
Yeah, you should. It's just peace. No, you should say it, is what I'm saying. It's
Why?
good. Because it's peace.
Nah.
Yeah. I mean, I know you may not want
But like I said before, everything I said is coming, Andrew. When I kept telling you when is this gonna end, is it gonna come to one common ground? You don't feel it in the air. This is all over Christianity, confusion, Muslim.
You're no
God
longer
didn't design this. God, why would a God, like tell me now, why would a God create a world when there's division, confusion, friction? That sounds like man to me. Why would God want you to fear him instead of love him? Andrew, make that
Why
make
would God want
sense.
to fear him instead of love him?
Yes, does God sound like light or does he sound like darkness?
Yeah,
Darkness to me sounds like the devil, Andrew. That's
Well, you're
negativity.
saying a lot of things. You're
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Let's see what you have to say.
what they call a gish gallop. So look, saying fear him. I mean, fear isn't the way we're talking like cower or be afraid of. That's not. I mean, you should definitely respect and revere who God is. That's true. But it is not like some kind of fear where you're cowering in the corner.
Is that my N-word jigsaw?
Well, like that's one way to put it. Yes, it is. But here's the thing, John. He's actually shifted from I'm the observer. I don't have a position. Now I'm a pantheist, and Christianity's going to go away.
I don't know what you mean a pantheist. I'm consciousness.
No.
Self-aware.
No.
I'm consciousness.
No,
I'm self-aware, brother. That's all I am. Christ consciousness. You have an ego to keep cutting me off. That is your ego. You have to let go over your ego.
Stop. But
You keep trying to cut me off. Let me finish. Your ego is speaking. Your emotion.
Don't be dishonest. You said
Your emotion is speaking. I can feel it in your heart. Why do you keep cutting me off?
Are you a pantheist? Yes or
You're
no?
getting angry.
You're getting mad. Are you a
Good,
pantheist?
my nigga.
I just told you what I am. I'm consciousness.
You said this in the other room. Hold on. You said it in the other room.
What do you keep telling me? Hold on, and I just told you what I was.
Because you're saying something.
So that was great. 22 trillion funded debt. Taxes. You found a big beautiful bill. Nice and good. That's why I was studying the taxes. Defunding with 20 billion
I don't want to
immediately.
speak to you because you're speaking out of anger.
All right, that's fine. So when you're ready to be honest, we can engage.
I'm being honest.
No, you're not. You claimed that you were a pantheist or a pantheist. Now you're denying.
I just told you what I am. Why are you speaking about something else? You obviously saying somebody can't change from what they was before to something now?
Yeah, I'm big on.
It's a yes or no question. Are you obviously saying somebody can't change from what they was from before to now?
Rich, it's been like 1 week. I'm sorry.
It's a yes or no question.
It's been 1 week. Yeah, people can change, but not 1
So
week.
thank you. So obviously you have to accept what I am. Unconditional love, peace, and harmony. Are you getting angry, Andrew, because you think I'm lying?
Based on your
Are you getting angry?
Counts on purpose as well.
You're speaking through your ego.
You're more likely disingenuous than
Now I'm
honest.
being disingenuous because I'm being
You
honest.
just said, can't somebody change their view? You just claimed you're a pantheist. Now you're saying, oh, I'm not that. I mean, if you do it within the measure of 1 week, I think you're probably disingenuous. Given your background, you're probably disingenuous. So that's where I'm at. Sorry, bud.
Oh, you moved him down, Andrew?
I didn't move him down. But I think
Andrew, that's not right.
I didn't. That's the sniper of all snipers.
Bro, who is cooking you? I haven't seen you get cooked. You got saute.
There's no cooking at all. I just pointed out that he's a liar. That should mean
So,
something.
I mean, obviously, the Western analytical term, Andrew, is that he's effectively a physicalist, and he says if the universe is just all matter, then the universe is talking about itself in the form of humans, like today.
Well, look, yeah. I mean, I think pantheism is garbage. Let's be clear, Ray. But
that's not really pantheism.
No. I know, but listen. He claimed to be a pantheist. Maybe he just doesn't know what terms are, and he's learned since then. That's why he's changing it. But he needs to be transparent about it. He shouldn't.
I mean, he obviously had.
What's that?
Was a total agnostic physical.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Congressman John Kitover.
Well, no, and he also said Christianity is going to go away, and how could God exist if all the bad stuff's happening? So I don't think it's just that. I think he is actually slanted towards atheism. When I first met him, he was taking shots at the Bible. So I don't. He's either anti-Christian and maybe atheistic towards Christianity, or just broadly. It's kind of hard to really say because he doesn't really allow his views to be scrutinized too heavily. And then when you ask him questions, he'll be like, I don't answer subjective questions. Really weird response, but he says that a lot. So, that being said, we can let all that be. But, Ray, you don't agree that there is a division between us?
Andrew, your inability to understand this point I've made to
No,
you.
I understood the point. I understood the elements and the matter that makes up people and makes up our brains and makes up all of the things that we consume and our process of
Correct.
Taking on sustenance and excreting, etc. I get all of the similarities. I'm talking about the market differences. That's what I'm talking about.
So Andrew, if I buy a new, which I will be doing soon, if I buy a new Ferrari 458 Spider from the dealership, and as I'm driving it out of the dealership, I slightly scratch my car, and one atom of the paint falls off. Is that atom on the ground a different car than my car? Is it a car?
It's not even a car.
It's not a car.
No.
Okay, so is one atom in your skin of your thumb right now that falls off of you? Is that Andrew?
It's part of it. It is a piece of me. It's a piece
of you.
Yeah.
Is the atom Andrew?
Is the atom what?
Is the singular atom identical to Andrew?
No.
Is the summation of all the atoms identical to Andrew?
Well, I don't think it. That's why I don't think it's just physical. So no, I don't agree.
So the only way out of this is to say there's something else.
Well, first of all,
you can't point at something.
Well, no. First of all, though, Ray, we can just take the collection of atoms, even if I can say, look, my collection of atoms is different than your collection of atoms.
Yeah, well, then you run into some big problems, Andrew boy.
How's that a big problem?
Because what do you mean by different?
Just
located in a different part of space-time?
Hold on. Identity seems to be very basic, and I can't imagine you trying to challenge that. You look at something and you say, this is not this, right? This is not that. That is different than that. You can tell, you can distinguish. There's distinctions. There is distinctions. And for you to say that there is not distinctions, I think you're being very dishonest. You live as though there's distinctions. You operate every day as though there's distinctions. When you talk to me, you call me Andrew, not Converse. Why? Because we're distinct.
Right,
we're distinguished from one another.
Right, but what I'm trying to establish to you is that the level at which you distinguish is subjective and abstract. And we distinguish not because things are actually different, but because things are functionally different.
Well, I mean, says you. I'm saying just go along with what I don't understand, Ray, this is what I never understood. Why would somebody, unless they're extremely motivated, why would somebody experience difference, okay? Experience it. Experience free will, okay? I can make a choice between Pepsi and Coke. Experience morality. When I ponder about driving a car into a group of 20 people, just so I can get a better parking spot, just so I can parking spot. Okay, when I ponder that, it hits me as though, you know what, that I ought not do that. And if I think about somebody doing that, I'm like, if they did that, I don't think I want to be around that person because they sound like what they sound like what I might want to call a bad person. Now, now hold on. I don't understand, since that is like a pretty ubiquitous experience for people. Why on earth have you come to these conclusions that all of those things aren't actually the case? It's very strange.
No. Well, okay. This is a great question, Andrew. It's not that they aren't the case. It's just, as I always say, the language you use to describe it. So if you zoom out and you look at a Homo sapien tribe of what a part of what you are, you're just a part of a very large Homo sapien tribe, your state or your country or whatever. If you look at a Homo sapien tribe, you will notice that they have instinctual behavior, like avoiding the Homo sapiens that drive their car into 20 other Homo sapiens. That is an instinct of yours. Like, it's not something that got socialized into you. Some people argue that, and then that gets confusing and whatever. But let's just assume right now, for the sake of argument, that it is an instinct of yours to avoid those other Homo sapiens. The fact that you're doing that, the fact that other people, other Homo sapiens around you, on average, tend to do that, and then you have the weird outliers who actually want to drive their car into 20 people, but for the most part, you have people that avoid violence and don't commit violence themselves. All of that stuff is just in your DNA. So why wouldn't someone observing this Homo sapien tribe say, oh, that's all just monkey business? This is the same thing. Why would he distinguish, oh, look at how monkey A does X. Look at how monkey B does Y. You would have to have a functional reason to distinguish. When you look at an anthill and you look at the creation of an anthill by 1,000 ants, do you really spend the time, Andrew, to think about each ant and the role it's playing in building that anthill? Or do you kind of label the whole thing as a monolith and say, oh, this is a set of ants building an anthill? You are just a part of a set of Homo sapiens building a Homo sapien society. So it only sometimes makes sense to look at Andrew as an individual. But what you actually are is a part of a Homo sapien tribe.
Yeah, being part of a Homo sapien tribe doesn't negate anything I said. Look, you can be part of a group. We distinguish ourselves from monkeys. I'm not a monkey.
Okay, but
I'm not a monkey.
Here's the brilliant part. Homo sapien tribe is just a part of the mammal tribe, and the mammal tribe is just a part of the animal kingdom tribe.
Yeah, that's kingdom. Yeah, sure. Yeah, so I can accept those labels.
If you zoom out entirely,
sure.
it's the entire universe.
Yeah, but you aren't going to be able to smooth over the bumps of distinction. You aren't going to be able to. And the problem is that that's exactly what this whole endeavor is about. It's about, well, you're just an animal, and free will, it's just an illusion. This is just everything, matter and motion. And distinction. I mean, we're really no different than a slug, and no different than the asphalt and the stars. We're made of stardust. I mean, it's just all just matter. And this idea that something feels wrong to you, it's just a preference. It's like, oh, I want to eat this. Ooh, I want to eat that. Ooh, I don't like that because he hurt me. Ooh, ah. No, it's much deeper than that. There's a lot more going on there. And it's more than just this is not just some prudential conviction. There is a deep conviction that has more depth. There's more authority behind it. There's something that's like, no.
At what point in your life did you decide you didn't want to kill people?
There was never a decision. I've been built in with a beacon that the scripture speaks very clearly of, and it says that God wrote his law on our hearts. That means that we, for at least a lot of the moral laws, we already have this built-in beacon to say don't do it. But let me just say this. I have wanted to kill people, and my whole desire to do that was something that was being judged by a conviction that was not internal to me. It was not something that I didn't have authority over the conviction. The conviction had authority over me. It stood in judgment of me.
I will not sit here and be intellectually disrespected, Andrew.
You're a beautiful man, Ray.
You're more beautiful. Look at your jawline. You're more beautiful.
Well, it is pretty good, but you are pretty beautiful. And you better give me a picture of that spider, by the way, when you get it. Send me a picture. Will you send me a picture? Will you send me a picture?
Andrew, give me 1 second.
I just want to know, will you send me a picture of the spider when you drive up a
I
lot?
can't afford a 458 spider.
I thought you were actually going to buy it. You're a wealthy man. Okay,
I'm a
good.
27-year-old, Andrew.
Yeah, but you're a Jew, so I thought you had the money. But go ahead.
Okay, 1 second. Let me finish this set.
Yes, go ahead.
Can you mute me, please?
Oh, yes, I can. Be glad to. Ray, I've always wanted you to ask me that. You've been muted. MJ, are you there, sir?
Yo. Going on?
Have you met Uncle Ray?
Oh, yeah.
Uncle Ray says that
Ray thinks I'm a Looney Tune.
he says that Yahweh he says Yahweh was created. He says Yahweh and the Israelites were created by the Canaanites. How do you like that? That's his kill shot.
Yeah, so Andrew, how are you going to sit down with me, an Ivy League educated individual? I'm going to say something like you have instinctual behavior because of your genetics, and you're going to respond to me, no, I have core behaviors because of the beacon of Christ. You are overlaying Christian poetry on top of already established biology and evolutionary science. I do not want to hear that human behavior is not because of DNA and genetics. Don't tell me it's because of the beacon of Christ you are writing poetry.
I didn't say anything about writing poetry, but are you telling me that the whole field of moral philosophy is useless and it isn't striving to determine, hey, what the heck is going on here? Because obviously
Where's the moral philosophy for the whales, for the crows, for the orangutans, for the baboons? Andrew, finally, because you're laughing, you're starting to. I love you because you're laughing.
I love you, brother. What do you mean the moral philosophy of the whales? You mean moral philosophy that the whales engage in, or moral philosophy we do about the whales?
Because they engage in.
Who knows if they have any kind of perception of morality?
They don't do it. Because
How do you? And you know this how?
Well, they don't do it in the same way that Homo sapiens.
Okay. Well, I mean, I probably grant that, but I mean, you're not in the mind of a whale. Okay, so I don't think you know what's going on. But we can try to infer things based on things we can observe and try to test things and do this, that, and the other. But
Andrew, do you know to retract your hand from a fire because God encoded that in humans, or because it's a part of the Homo sapiens?
I mean, I think God made us such that God made us such that we know to do that if we want to preserve. If our bodies are made and our minds are geared towards God and geared towards having a relationship with Him, things that are preserving of self is probably good for God to build into us. It's not good if we didn't care about living and surviving and reproducing. If we had no instinctual desire to do that, then I think it would be kind of a crapshoot as to what happens if he just creates these beings that don't have those drives and don't have this like control mechanism or these rails to prevent you from just destroying yourself or being self-destructive. Just as much as you might be propagating. If those were like equal drives, that would be a huge problem as far as, achieving an end of having a relationship with beings he wants to freely choose to love him. So yeah, I do think God embedded that into us. So I don't agree with the way you're like characterizing. You're a hyper-physicalist, Ray. I mean, you are like hardcore. Everything is physical. There's like nothing, there is no immaterial existence at all.
But dude, it's like, I'm sorry, it's not even a debate, man. Like, because I can literally just repeatedly show you my worldview is correct. We can gene edit a child and give him a very horrible congenital disorder, and he will always die. And then you can't say, oh, God made this child.
He will always die. How can you make that question?
Dude, you can give a kid.
How can you make that claim without? Hold on. Sorry. How can you make that claim without?
Because
how
we
do you know?
Clinical studies showing the death rate of like a congenital heart. There's specific congenital heart.
You would just say historically it's been the case, and even then you wouldn't know that,
Okay, so Andrew, if you had a kid, like it's a morbid situation, but if you had a kid where a hospital had said, oh, last time we observed the heart looked like this and be put like that. There's a thing that can happen in the atrium valve. Last time we saw this genetic disorder that affects the atrium valve. In 980 kids, we saw 970 of them die. Would you believe that your kid is going to be one of the 10?
It'd be hard. It would be hard.
Correct. So if human society goes off of these probabilities, and let's say we continue to, as we are, as China is, because they're the bravest nation on the world, as we continue to understand gene editing technology, what happens to our narrative of like God wanted this to happen to this baby when we can control the outcomes?
Well,
doesn't it heavily suggest that what's happening is because of genetics?
no, because you're trying to say just because we can alter the outcomes of things that God didn't anticipate that and plan for it. I mean, that's just crazy.
So now,
Yeah. Well, you just
but Andrew, you see what we're doing with language.
No, I see what you're doing. I see what. No. I didn't do just some ad hoc rescue there. That's what Christians have believed historically. God knows all things, my friend. God knows all things. If
humans are deciding if the baby dies or not, but then you're saying no.
Look. Hold on. Yeah, Ray, let me just demonstrate that to you. When two humans decide to procreate, right? Okay, and hopefully they do it the right way, right? Some biblical standard. If they do it though, whether they do it within God's system or not, if they choose to do that, a baby is born, right? If they get pregnant and have the baby, right? Okay, well, do you think God didn't know that was going to happen from our perspective? Of course we believe God knows that's going to happen. Jesus was prophesied. Obviously, there's all kinds of stuff that is God working with human decisions. He knew that Mary would agree to bear the child, the Christ child. So obviously, there's all kinds of free will that is used
Andrew,
by God.
There's a social contract around language that you're not following. Sometimes it bothers me. I'm in a good mood tonight, so it's not bothering. But if we say something like, "Oh, I have a baseball and I'm going to drop it onto the ground," speaking in English, we're going to say something like, "Oh, the baseball is going to fall to the ground at the speed of gravity on planet Earth, and it's going to go through the air resistance that normal oxygen on Earth and whatever else the air at night is made out of, and the ball is going to hit the ground." If someone then wants to include, "Oh, and God makes sure it hits the ground," or God originally plans for it to hit the ground, most people agree you don't need to say that. That's not a part of the knowledge we have about dropping a baseball onto the ground. You don't need to include God in that narrative.
Well, you don't need to say that. Hold on, Rich, real quick. See, most people may not need to say that, Ray, but most people believe in God, and if you took away God, you wouldn't have the matter to even look at to do that. So
why
it's
God to talk about a baseball?
I didn't say that you need a God to talk about it. I'm saying it's implicit in their God belief that God is the foundation of all of these things. So it wouldn't be the case that you could even talk about this observation without God. So whether they claim it or not, it's built into their understanding. So when you say most people don't have the desire or don't even see the need to say, well, God's the one that made gravity operate as it does. No, it's just implicit. They don't need to say that. So, of course, if God is a necessary being, which we believe he is, then it is the case that he exists in this world and, in fact, in all possible worlds, and he would be the foundation of these things even being possible. You wouldn't be able to make the observation of your gravity without God.
Where does it say?
Ray.
Where does it say that?
Where does it say what? That God is the ground of all things.
It
says that God is
outside of you, outside of within you. And the
scripture
doesn't. And why are you so angry, bro?
The scripture. I'm not angry, bro.
Do you want to hear yourself?
I'm not angry. I'm not angry. I just want to make. I'm not angry.
Anger, brother.
I'm not angry, but I'm not screaming. Bro, if you want to see me scream, just go to Tom. If you want to see me scream, hold on, brother. If you want to see me scream, hold on. If you want to see me scream, go to YouTube and go to Tom Rabbit's channel. Okay, you'll see me screaming. No. But you keep saying I'm screaming, and I just want you to get it right.
Telling me you're not tense?
Tense is different than screaming, and I'm not even sure of that. I'm not even sure. Hold on. I'm not even sure that I'm not even sure. No.
Can we have a conversation?
No.
We're gonna keep doing this.
We can have a yes or no. We can have a yes or no. Hold on. You're interrupting my answers a lot, so it's just going to prolong it.
I'm not interrupting.
You're interrupting my answers. No, you are interrupting my answers. And so because you're interrupting my answers, it's going to prolong it. So here's the point.
Get your point off, please. Don't.
Hold on. You're cutting me off right now. The yes or no, I can answer that, but we're gonna do it sequentially. I'm trying to tell you that your claim of me screaming is not true, and I can show you a YouTube channel where I was screaming. Okay, this isn't me screaming. You're completely off. As far as me being tense, it's been a little bit of a up and down day. I'm mostly okay. I've enjoyed the conversation. I'm not upset at Ray, not upset at you. But you do need to quit doing this like kind of rapid interjection every time I'm trying to respond to the stuff that you're saying. Let's have a sequential dialogue, not just jump around and
To
say
the topic, not your emotions.
I'm not on my emotions.
Yes, you
so I
are.
don't know
You
what
keep
you're saying.
telling me
No.
about something that's not here, though.
No, that's not an emotion. So I don't know why you're saying it.
Just get to the conversation.
But can you say something that's actually true?
Is the kingdom? It's okay. I understand why you feel like this.
No, but you got to say stuff that's true. Otherwise, you're wasting time.
You're in separation, or are you trying
Here's
to
the thing.
you're the only one?
You got to say something you actually think is true.
Because
Okay,
now
cool.
you're being a
So
hypocrite.
you said where does the Bible say that? The Bible teaches that God is the creator of all things other than himself. Okay? So he creates everything. So everything in existence is created by God. Well, you would know I'm done. Why do you ask if I'm done when I'm still talking? Why would you do that?
You're not the only one that gets to speak. I am.
Why? No. Did you hear what I just? Technically, I could.
You're speaking.
No. Technically, I could be the only one that spoke if I wanted to be, but I'm not doing that. But you don't ask if I'm done while I'm still speaking. You're a disingenuous interlocutor. So don't do that. Nonetheless, go ahead, Rich. Say what it is. Oh, you're not even here anymore. Well, that's because you have a sniper taking care of you, taking care of business.
Who's doing that? Converse is legitimately just a racist, isn't it?
I mean, some might.
Hey Ray, you called 3 people the N-word last week. I've never
Right.
seen that.
Right. So, I mean, some people might call them racist, and some people might just call them reasonable. I go with the latter. So,
So Andrew, I think I'm making actually a lot of progress with you today. So,
well,
so I agree, Andrew. Majority of people believe in God. It's actually complex. I've read a lot of anthropological papers on it. What majority of people believe really is that like there's something out there, and then we live in the societies today that globally got influenced by Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. So people just overlay that onto that. That's what's actually happening. Like, dude, if you go to any Christian in the United States and
I do want to say something to that, Ray, but hold on. I have to. The store's getting ready to close. I have to say I don't. So I want MJ.
Andrew, may I speak to Ray?
What's up, Mr. Chris? Yes, you may speak to Ray.
Long time, buddy. I haven't seen you in a while.
It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Ray, just to be careful, Ray is a Jew, Chris. But go ahead.
That's what's up. So Ray, in reference to your what you were saying about the like heart disease thing. So I actually happen to have a son who, while his mother was pregnant, was involved in a horrific car accident, which separated her placenta and caused her to go into early labor. He was born 1 pound 13 ounces. The doctor looked me right in my face and said, "Do not expect this child to live." He turns 19 in February. I'd never for a second thought that just because of statistics that, oh, my child's not going to make it. I almost went to jail that night for trying to fight the doctor for him even saying that my child wasn't going to live. So I do believe that faith means a lot, because statistically, like, would you say, oh, well, 980 out of 980 died? Well, mine was 981. My 981 lived, and now he's going to be 19. So you don't, like, you shouldn't say things like that, because why is Chris a moron? And I would absolutely love to.
Sasha is one of these online incels. Don't listen to her.
Yeah, and then like Ray, this isn't a point of contention to say like you said anything wrong. This is strictly just something that happened in my life.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Chris, first of all, that's amazing. I'm extremely happy your son lived. Congrats, that's awesome. Do you believe it was because of God?
I don't believe that it wasn't because of God. Like, I'll say this. All of the, what we would call professionals, said that there was no chance. And then, there was. And now, he's 19. Well, he'll be 19 in February. Like, now he's grown. And, like I said, when I say like small, I'm talking about like the palm of my, like 1 pound. Like he was in the hospital for a year. So I don't believe that is anything but God. Because it damn sure wasn't the doctors, because the doctors told me to give up hope.
Yeah, Ray often tells people to give up hope.
You know, and again, like I said, Ray, this is not like to make like contention with you or anything. It's just something that happened for me. It's just something that happened for me, and I did a lot of praying. Like I did.
I hear you, Chris. I guess what would you say to the parents who were less lucky and lost their kids to the same thing?
I don't know. I honestly, I don't know what I would say.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't say like, oh well. So the first thing that comes to my mind is people would be like, oh well, did God choose your kid over mine, type of thing. And I don't think that's like what it is. Like, there's, you know, everyone like seeks to like argue or fight first, rather than just be like, you know what, this is just what it is. You know what I mean? Like, this is something that happened. Is it unfortunate? Is it sad? Yes. But I don't.
But do you see, maybe then it would be like the most rational thing to do is not conclude that God saved your kid, but rather conclude that you don't know why your kid lived, and it's exceptionally amazing. And
Maybe.
It's like,
maybe.
right.
But for me personally, being that I am somebody who's rooted in faith, I believe that because of the fact that I don't just like part-time believe in God. I believe in God all the time. Like, even when I'm doing bad, especially when I'm doing bad. Like, I'm always with him. He's always with me. And I think that is what is very, very important, because sometimes and even this is even true for me at points in my life, that I only wanted God like when it was convenient for me. Like when I was like I went to prison and I was like, oh my God, I'll never do this again. I'll never be like this. Like, and then like I didn't have any real intention of like changing. I just wanted to be out of the situation I was in, right? But I guess I used to like, I was like a part-time believer. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
When I became a full-time believer, it's like I'm not God didn't make me rich or give me all these things or anything, you know, like that. But I do have what I need. I have not been without. Since I've been a full-time believer, I've had everything that I've needed. It's you know, and people are like, oh, that's not true. And I used to say the same thing. I'm like, look, I used to tell people this too. Like, look, faith is not going to pay my bills. I used to tell people that, like, I cannot just go, like, believing in God and thinking that that's going to make my life okay. I used to tell people that. I don't know how, I don't even know how it happened. I got tired of doing things a certain way, and I put all my time in one direction. And since I've done that, things have been exponentially better for me. And for me, considering that the things that I put my focus into was God, my faith, that to me, that says that's God.
Yeah, I hear you on that. I don't know if you heard my conversation with Andrew earlier. I just believe all of that is just a use of language thing. Like, I don't actually, like, if we really got into it, I don't think you fully believe in, like, the specific Christian God. Like, you're using, like, Christian language and God
No.
language.
I'm not a Christian, dude.
Oh.
Yeah, no. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, not a Christian. It's the language I use is just that's the common language that we can understand what we're talking about.
Wait, Ray, were you about to spit a freestyle?
Dude, Converse, it must suck for you, and you have
Weren't you just beatboxing, Ray?
You have
on
way
mic?
too much ego.
Wait, weren't you
When
just
I
beatboxing on mic, Ray?
with these God believers, wow, do you look like a fool, Converse?
Wait, were you just beatboxing on mic or no?
You look like a fool.
Yes, yes, or no?
Fool coming out of your mouth.
There we go.
I'm scalping. Scoffing.
What's scalping? Is that Galifianakis?
I'm gonna do my set with the mic on. Chris, when you say God, what do you mean?
The Creator, the Most High, the one who created all, me, you, and everything else, who created every idea of any other God you can think of.
Why do you think there's a creator?
Why do I think that there's a creator? Because I exist.
Same question.
Huh?
Same question. That doesn't answer my question.
Why do I think there's a creator?
Yeah.
Because I exist. Something made me, and it wasn't just my parents. And if we have to go through like something made my parents and their parents and their parents and their parents and their parents and all that bullshit, we can always go back. There is a beginning.
So
I believe in the beginning there was something that our minds cannot even fathom. There's something that's outside of time and it's outside of space, and it made us. It made everything, and I don't believe I don't believe it was when something hit nothing and blew up and made everything.
Well, it could absolutely be, and we'll never know. But
you're right, and that right there is the premise of faith. I believe that I have a purpose. I believe that something created me, and you could say, "Oh well, God," or I don't. People could call it anything they want. I don't care if there was 1,000 different names for this one thing, but regardless, everything draws back to this one thing. And you can call it God, or you can call it Yahweh, or you can call it
Isn't it crazy how we ended up in the exact same point as the last conversation? The other person said exactly that. Kind of rich. It was Rich, or
I don't know. I wasn't here. I wasn't here for
no.
that.
It was John. It was John. John with the veteran John. He said this this kind of perennialism that you guys are discussing. But like it's like people word it as a comment. Because when you say I believe something created, but I don't really know exactly what that thing looks like, and I don't know if it's Christian or Hindu or Confucian or whatever. You're just staying agnostic on the nature of God, and you're staying so agnostic on the nature of God that you might as well call yourself agnostic.
I mean, okay.
Because if I really explored your concept of creator, I would ask you, like, what do you mean by creator? And you mean like, okay, I learned this word creator as a human because I've seen humans create other things. I've seen animals create other things. I'm like, okay, you've seen humans and animals create what kind of things? And you can point. I'm in a gym right now. I see a Smith machine. I see a band. I see a floor. I see lights. These are all creations of humans. But then if I ask you, like, did the water create the cove? Like the cove that it eventually eroded from the ocean splashing into it 100,000 times. Did the water choose to create a cove? Then you're gonna like pause. And you're gonna, I don't know. Actually, does water create things, or does the cove just exist? And then you can apply that exact same logic to humanity.
So I get what you're saying. I think that everything was made, and then like is there knowledge of the things that are gonna happen? Yes, but the things that were made weren't made in like, oh well, I'm gonna make this, and then 25,000 years after that water crashes 100,000 times, it's gonna make this cove. No, I think that things were made, and like there is also like things work like that. You know what I mean? Like that's the way things work. And nowadays world, we call it science and shit. I believe that my creator is the like this. There's no one that knows more than that. Like it's not to say like, oh well, he made it in the beginning to say like, oh yeah, you know what? There's going to be, an earthquake in 800,000 years, and I'm watching that. No, he made the world. He made the world, and he made us, and he knows us, and he's letting the world do what it does. Like God. Like, because there's a creator does not mean that like he is supposed to sit here and say, "Oh, let me make things better for you." No, that is your job. It is your job to make things better for yourself. And it's your job to not only make, like, it's not even you that makes things better for yourself. You have to seek him, and through him, he'll make things better for you. Like, that was where, for me, again, this is strictly for me, and, deny it, whatever, I don't care. I've realized at a time that I put all the focus on me doing things for me, and until I actually was able to give up this sense of control to be like, I can't fucking do this, until then, I was never able to get where I wanted to be.
Yep. Exact same for me. The language I used, however, was that humans do not have free will, so I shouldn't waste my energy trying to control situations because I fundamentally am not in control. So I will just accept the abstraction that my operating system is running at all times in my brain. I am Ray Ray the Rat. I am an Ivy League educated 271 IQ genius. I have been granted these amazing. I am God. I have been granted these genetics. I am an Arab man, and thus I am a black man. And I have accepted all of these things. And I just live that way. You and I are living the same way.
Listen, like I said, listen, that's why I said, like, you can make it to be like, I'm just telling you what worked for me. Maybe it doesn't work for you. I don't know.
So you're I love it.
For me, this is what worked. I surrendered my control, to be like, you know what? I just need to, like, it's the most cliche shit ever, but just like let go of shit.
Absolutely.
And like not, and kind of just, we'll call it go with the flow. And ever since I've done that, and I've done it from a place of positivity and from a place of faith, it's been exponentially better for me because I've done those things before, but it wasn't from a place of faith or from positivity, or even necessarily, if that's the case, like letting go of control. Like always, even if it was subconscious, I was like, no, I'm gonna do this. I'm doing this. This is what I'm doing. I'm gonna make this happen. No, it's. And like I said, and I am not like a Bible thumper or none of that shit, but I only know what has worked for me. That
is raising your frequency.
Yeah, I only know what has worked for me. Like, I don't.
Chris, I strongly believe someone that is sharing about his philosophy and sharing about like what he thinks about like his son, which I think is such an amazing coincidence and things like that. And you say this is just my personal view. I don't require other human. I don't think necessarily that other humans should think exactly the same way as me. And this is what works for me. That is agnosticism, because you're not saying what I believe is certainly true. You're just saying what I believe is relatively true. It's true for Chris. When you think something is just true for Chris, you're generally an agnostic.
Oh, well, I believe it could be true as a whole, but I also don't try to force those things on anyone else. Like, I give you my relative experience to say, like, this is why I think it's true. Like, no matter what I think doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Because those are just, that's how I.
But Chris, why are you concluding objective truths off of your relative experience?
That's my life experience. Those are the things that I believe those are the things that throughout my life experience, the things that I've done, from the good and the bad, and the things that have happened, and from when I was kind of like separated from faith to when I finally came, like, I will call it like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and then into when I finally was like, I don't want to do this anymore, and I want to go. This is the way I want to go, and I've watched my life change over and over and over the closer I've got to faith. So for me, that solidified the truth in it. And like I say again, I cannot like make you believe it. The only thing I can do is give my testimony, and I can just keep doing what I do because I have faith, and that's it. I'm not trying to convince you to have faith. Like that's the thing is like because I'm not Jesus. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm not trying to bring you over or trying to make you like I'm not trying to do any of that. I'm just telling you that these are the things that I have witnessed. I have literally watched it transform me. And that I don't know how more true anything can get than going through it. You know what I mean?
It's a good question because you could say I have gone through seeing that water is wet. Is it true that water is wet? It's a hard question. I don't know. I have gone through this personal experience with God. Is it true that God exists? Also a hard question. If we compare the two questions, is water wet? Does God exist? Most of humanity seems to agree that it's easier to answer that water is wet is objectively true. So It seems like things like observation and empirical evidence can create objective truths, quote unquote, that are stronger than other objective truths.
No, and I like this. I don't have a point of contention with you because like the things that you're saying are relative. I also just believe like if you jump out of a plane, will you fall? For me, the answer is yes. And something relative to that same statement for me, this is like I said, just for me, is that's how God exists for me. Is if I jump out of a plane while I fall, that is how real God is for me.
By the way, MJ, I saw you. Did you want to say something, MJ, or?
No, I'm just listening.
I'm sorry.
And again, let me
Something
I'm not a Christian. I'm not Muslim. Like it's.
But my chewing probably triggered my mic or something. Stuffing my mouth with eggs.
Oh, okay.
Chris, do you believe Jesus rose from the dead?
Of course I do.
Okay, but you're not like because I heard Ray say you were like a perennialist or syncretist or something like that. You're not saying all religions are true or something like that, right? You're not doing that weirdness.
No, I don't believe all religions are true, but I believe a lot of them are pretty spot on. Not a lot of them, a few of them, I'll say. I don't believe in, like, I don't down talk other religions. Like, I don't bash Muslims, I don't bash Catholics, I don't bash any of them. And a lot of what I read out of the Quran, they recognize Jesus and the Virgin Mary and his resurrection and the fact that he was a divine like body. I don't believe in the Trinity personally. I do believe that Jesus was a prophet, not that he was God in the flesh. I believe that there is only one God, that he did not separate himself into pieces and all that. That's just my personal belief.
Yeah, but they don't believe. And but by the way, welcome Connie and Rashad. Come up here, brother. I like the profile. MJ's gonna want to. Yeah, it's good to have you, Connie. Sorry for leaving you down in the group for so long there. I didn't realize that you had your hand up. Anybody else that wants to come up, put your hand up. I'll invite you up. I'll invite you up even if you don't put your hand up. How do you like that?
I just have a question for Chris, if that's okay.
Yeah, you certainly can. I just wanted to say this super quick, and you certainly can, Connie. Just, Chris, do you believe Jesus? You say you believe Jesus rose from the dead. You do know, and you're aware that obviously Islam, by and large, rejects the crucifixion, right? So he can't rise from the dead if he wasn't crucified, which is a fatal flaw in Islam.
That would be something that I would have to look into because, to my personal knowledge, I thought that they recognized his death and being risen. So that
No.
Wow,
So
that
really,
almost answers my question.
yeah, and this is why it's like, and to me, that's like the heart of Satan right there, Chris. And this is why Islam is a huge problem, because what they're saying. So are you ready? This is from the Quran. I will pull up the verses, but it is Christ did not die, neither was he crucified. Is that right, MJ, or is it backwards? It's very explicit, and Muslims by and large will tell you that it was made to appear as though he died, but he didn't actually, and that God rescued him or something like that. And there was like a body double, or there's different ways that they kind of explain it, but they don't have Christ dying on the cross. And to die on the cross and resurrect is the central linchpin of
Breaking up just
so
a tad.
obviously,
Andrew, you're in the matrix a bit. You're in the matrix a lot.
Would you? Oh, sorry. I'll fix that. I'll fix that. And, yeah, I'm just going to say, having Islam coming some 600 years later and denying. Gosh, go ahead, Connie.
So basically, I was definitely wondering if he was a Christian, and I guess not, because he's stating that you're Islam.
I'm not a Muslim. I'm not a Christian, but I'm not a Muslim.
What do you consider yourself?
A follower of the Most High. I'm a child of God. I don't need
So
to
you're
be
not
a
an
Christian.
Israelite or anything of that nature?
I don't need to be a Christian. So for a while, when I was still searching for certain things and trying to find, I guess we'd call it like my path, is for sake of whatever, I'll call it trying to find my path. I went to some Israelite places and did a number of things, and then I realized that I don't fit in with any of them because one, I don't like the hate preach. That's not really my thing, but I also don't believe that I need to call myself a Christian, and I also don't believe that I need to call myself a Catholic, and I also don't believe that I need to call myself anything except a follower of God.
Okay, but you definitely just said, in Jesus Christ. So,
That's what?
I mean, if you say you're, a follower of God,
I'm a
Jesus
follower of God.
Christ isn't our God. If
No.
Okay, maybe I'm confused.
No, I don't believe that Jesus was God. I don't believe that he was God in the flesh. I don't believe that he, made himself into like this Trinity thing.
Do you pray to him?
No.
But you believe he died and rose from the dead, right?
I believe that he died and that he, essentially, people say, well, he died and was risen 3 days later. To me, it's like, I don't feel like he ever died.
Okay, go ahead.
Did he die essentially, and did he die in the flesh then? Yes, but what he rose and then he came back and preached for 40 days or
yes, and then he ascended unto heaven. You're kind of confusing me. You're confusing me a little bit, Chris.
That's how we all die.
What'd you say, MJ?
That's how we all die.
What'd you say?
That's how we all die.
Yeah, we all. Well, what do you mean? That's how? What do you mean?
We're all immortal.
Oh,
I'm not coming back.
You're not coming back, honey. Well, that's sad. Why is that?
Because for what? I've already did it. I mean, I'm gonna master this shit, and it's just I'm not coming back as a dumbass baby.
Wait, no. You wouldn't be a baby. That's not what's being said. So look, MJ's right. None of us are really going to. I mean, despite how you feel about it, you actually are going to continue on.
So the question is what state are you going to be consistent with never ceasing to exist?
A fucking star, something that just shines all day, because I'm not coming back to do any of this again.
Well, can she determine that, MJ? Can she make that choice?
Actually, I can, because I'm not going to walk into whatever fucking light that's going on there. I'm going to go my own way.
So
That means your universalism's false, but other than that.
So when I was 21, so I OD'd when I was 21, and I died. And
Underdosing is so much better.
yeah, it is. I would definitely go for underdosing rather than overdosing. But the only thing I can remember is nothing. And when I say nothing, I mean like I was conscious and just there was nothing. I didn't have I didn't have a body. There was nothing. I never want to feel that again, ever. It was like I don't know if you know like
was it
nothing.
was it you feeling it?
I don't know. All I know is there was nothing. Like,
And you actually were able to consciously feel
there
nothing.
was nothing. I don't know. Like all I know is I didn't like it, and it's something that I never want to feel again, ever.
Well,
ever in life.
the you that came back to Earth didn't like it. How about the nothing? Did the nothing?
No, I don't ever want to go back. I don't. Damn
It shit
that.
reminds me of Severance when he said that. Oh my god.
Damn that. I know that when I came back. So, and you can believe it, not believe it, whatever. I came out like from the sky, and I saw the city where I was at, and then the building where I was at, and then in my body, and I had tubes in my mouth, and I was like, what the fuck, and what's going on? And I knew where I was already. I was like, why the fuck am I here, and what's going on? I knew where I was. That's, for me, that's why I said, that shit just happened. And
so you went from feeling nothing to then realizing where you were.
That somehow, I don't know why. I don't know why I lived. I do know that the place where I was not where I want to be. Like, I don't know what hell is.
That is an out-of-body experience.
I don't know.
That's what it would sound like. Project, like,
I don't know. I don't know what hell is, or if you actually like literally go into fire. But for me, what I felt was disconnect. I don't ever want to feel that again. Like
maybe we're in hell.
It like absolute like nothing.
But Chris,
what?
there is also such a thing as when you die. You know, I don't know if I believe you immediately. If you're a Christian, you go immediately to heaven. But I think there's also like it's called a waiting hall. Like,
yeah, I don't want to go there either.
Until the late judgment. But I do have some kind of similar thing. One time I was like in a big white big box room. That's how I felt when I had such a same kind of experience.
So you in a white room, like psychiatric? Yeah. What was going on?
No, nothing. Like, just yeah. Like there was indeed nothing.
It's like, what do you see when you close your eyes? It's like nothingness. Nothing.
Nah, but it wasn't. For me, it was a white. It was a white room.
Oh yeah, mine was just black and.
What's happening here?
I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, we went on a little tangent there. It was essentially it was to say like these are the reasons why I believe in God. For me, it's because
I think that is actually out of body experience, not death.
So you OD'd and then you grabbed God. I get it.
I didn't grab God.
Experience, right, Chris? You had a near-death experience. You're saying?
No, I died. I died.
He said he died. He felt nothing, and then he realized
No,
that he
I
was
know
operating
that,
table.
I died. I died and I got resuscitated. I didn't grab God.
Wait, Chris, I
how
don't
the
think you
fuck
really
could someone like
died.
me grab God?
I think
All I know
What
is
I'm saying is, you told us before previously that you weren't into like any religions or anything like that, and then
I
you
said I'm not a
found.
Christian. I said I'm not a Christian and I'm not a Muslim. I do read the Bible.
You said your life transformed.
I do pray. I do all those things, but I do not need to subscribe to being a Christian to
All right,
adhere
cool
my
beans.
faith.
Nobody's even asking you if you signed up to a religion. When
Okay.
did you decide that you wanted to believe in a God, and what happened to you? Was it the OD that you died? After that,
No,
did you believe?
I've always believed in God, but there was a time in my life where certain things happened to where I kind of like strayed away from that, and then until like my mid-20s, this is after the OD, where I finally was like put my focus back like fully into saying like fuck, like this, like I saw where I went off, and then I saw like things that were helping me, slowly but surely, because I've been in and out of church here and there, or doing this or this, and I went like full force, like back into this is what I want for my life, and that was on mid to late 20s, like 27. Yeah. And I go to all kinds of churches. I go to Catholic church. I go to Christian church. I've been to a couple Mormon churches. I go to a couple Israelite camps. I go anywhere that they preach the word of God. Because what I've learned is that the truth is that this thing is man written, and we do need to read between the lines. So I get it from everywhere. I get God from anywhere God wants to give himself to me. Honestly, I don't go be like, oh, this is my church and this is the church I go to and I'm here and I'm faithful and I'm paying tithe. No, I be out in public, and if I see somebody preaching, if they're there and talking, that pulls me in. I go. If I see a church and it's open, I go. I just go. Anytime God calls me, I go. I just go. I don't have days. I don't. I don't know. I guess I'm different, but it works for me.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. So you don't believe in a creator then, Connie? No creator of the universe.
I definitely believe in a creator of the universe. I also believe that I'm a form of God myself.
You're a god?
I do believe that I am a form of God myself, and there is a higher entity that is, of course, way stronger than myself.
I should worship Connie, Andrew. I think now I'm going to worship Connie, my goddess.
That's how you choose, just like people choose to worship Jesus Christ. I mean, people choose to worship statues. You could choose to do what the fuck you want.
No, because they're gods, right? She's God, Andrew, right?
Well, she is saying there's a higher power than her. I mean, in some sense, I can make sense of it. We're the spark. We have a spark of God. We're maybe His image. That's fine. I don't like this language of saying that we're God. I don't think that's good. But I can make sense of what you're saying in some sense, Connie. But here's the thing, though. Like, do you believe there is a self-aware being that created the universe? Do you believe that?
I mean, of course, somebody had to design this damn thing. I mean, it's too magical for it not to be created by something, you know?
Well, good. Then I think that's good. So then, do you want to go hang out with that being?
Do I want to hang out with the creator?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be some deep shit right there, you know? That's a lot of questions. That's can I drink? I mean, I don't know.
Terrifying.
I don't know about drinking. I mean,
I might need a little margarita if I got sit down and talk to my creator, like, hey,
right. You might be like, I need some real liquid courage to meet that guy.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, because all I'm gonna do is fold the fuck up, and I'm like, but you know me.
Andrew, that is a terrifying thought.
What the fuck?
It's terrifying. I don't. And again, this could just be me. I don't believe God to be this like loving, give you a hug person. I believe him to be jealous.
Has to be like that.
I believe him to be jealous and vengeful and wrathful and flooded the earth and said, "I will kill you if you don't obey me."
He did.
Lamps out on all the damn doors.
Like, I believe that is the most terrifying thing I could. I can't even fathom thinking about being in the presence of that. And not that it's a bad thing, but just because like I don't deserve it.
Yeah, real quick, Connie, I'm glad you came across this room. If I might say so myself, this is the best room on Clubhouse. And I don't say that just because I'm opening it. It's just because we have the best people on Clubhouse in our rooms. But that being said, I know, Toast, I love you, buddy. I'm gonna put a link up there that's gonna say God Talk, and you click, you can join the house. And then, secondly, I just want to say, like, the Bible says that God is love. Period. No comma. God is love. And I think that love is pretty hard to be scared of.
I agree with you, but there is also other forces. There has to be an evil force among us. We have to be in a spiritual warfare because there's too much hate. There's too much sick fucking crimes. There's too much St. Jude Children's Hospital. There's too much bullshit is all I'm trying to say. So I totally fucking agree. But I believe in the balance. Where there's love, there got to be some hate. So
yeah, I hear you there. And MJ's making a point here, which I can see what he's probably saying just based on with what he just said there. I mean, people are afraid of that which is loving. I mean, people are afraid of love in relationships. They're afraid of love in committing and opening up and being transparent and having vulnerability and all kinds of stuff like that. So, I mean, in that sense, yeah, you can be afraid of that, but also, I think love is corrective too, especially when it's in like some kind of an authoritative position over you. It's not going to just let you do things that are going to be destructive to yourself and others that are not right. And so I do think that there's that corrective nature, and that can be a little bit, let's say, disheartening, because if your
dad loves you and then your dad's
right,
a dentist and you have a cavity.
So, Andrew,
right? What's up, buddy?
You said the Bible said God is love, and I'm not saying that it didn't say that, but the Bible also say that the Lord is a jealous and avenging God. The Lord is avenging and wrathful. The Lord takes vengeance on his adversaries and keeps wrath for his enemies.
Yep.
Did it say that?
Yeah. But but here's the big thing about that, Chris. That's not inconsistent with love, and that's what MJ and I were just saying right just now. MJ just said something that had some depth to it. I hope you heard it. It's like if a father had a child who loves that child, but the father is also a dentist, right? And he's got to deal with the son's cavity. Okay. So obviously the cavity is a bad thing. It needs to be dealt with. The father comes in. The father comes in with the drill, and the baby or the son doesn't like it. May even cry. May even think that his father hates him. Okay, but that's actually not what's going on. And so that's the broader understanding of what's going on. Yeah, for sure.
I like that. Yeah. Even better would be that. Do you have children?
I do not, unfortunately. Okay. But no, I do not.
Well, if you have children, and
I have nieces
and you have to punish your children.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. No, that's very equivalent.
Instead of you have to punish them.
Well, there's punishment too.
Sometimes you have don't yell at your kids.
Yeah.
You you have to punish your children.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The scripture says if you do,
spare the rod, spoil the child.
Yeah.
You have to.
I disagree. I believe you need to teach your children. Okay?
Well, that can be punishment. Teaching can be punishment. So so the point is it's done in love. That's the big thing. So the overall narrative still needs to be love. You discipline your children in love. You speak the truth in love. Now, the whole thing is there's a passage in the Bible that's hardcore. A lot of people, it hits them the wrong way, but I love it. It's awesome. It says, you ready for this? This is straight gangster. It says, if you do not discipline your children, you hate them. Woo! Cha-ching. I love that. And it is so good. And it is.
What is the form of discipline? See, everybody has a different form in their head. Of
discipline. Sure. Well, you knock their teeth out. You break a couple arms. You 40 lashes.
You know what? I don't have any kids.
That's why I don't, Connie. No, I'm joking.
You're home, Andrew, right now, child service.
Yeah, I know. I'm in hiding, so they can't find me. Don't trace my IP. But no, here's the thing. Look, I know this is a contentious issue. In fact, there's a guy in the app. His name is T, the letter T. He's an atheist. Him and I were talking about disciplining children. And I made the point that if you don't discipline your children, you hate them. And then let me read a passage to you. Let me see how this strikes you, pun intended. Let me read this to you real quick. Okay, so this is wisdom from God. That's going to be what I'm going to tell you. And I'm just going to say that objectively, not from my perspective. It is discipline. This right here is wisdom, teaching from God. All right, check this out. Do not withhold discipline from a child. If you get ready, if you strike him with a rod, he will not die. What? Okay. So now here's the thing.
Slavery bullshit. I'm not striking my child with shit.
I know. I knew you wouldn't like that. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I said that to this guy T, and he was yelling at me at the top of his lungs. That's child abuse. That's child abuse.
Can we break down the rod? Like what?
He called it child abuse. And here's the thing. Him and I don't really talk anymore. That was like our last conversation. Because no, T. I said T. A guy named T. Oh, not him. No, I'm sorry. I get you. No. His name is actually T. So, I was yelling at him. He was yelling at me, and I was trying to kind of forcefully respond, but I wasn't full on yelling. Not like I do with Sully, but no, I was definitely coming back on. Now the question is there ever a time to spank your child?
Yes.
Yeah, there is.
Yes. Hell yes.
Yeah.
Hell motherfucking.
Extreme measures.
No, okay. So this is the
extreme measures that they need to remember.
Chris does it every noon, noon afternoon.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
You're giving them nothing but fucking childhood trauma.
No, seriously.
Let's hear it.
So listen. So me and my kid's mom are separated right now. We would split time with the kids. My oldest son is going to be 19 soon, but I have a son that just turned 13. I have a 12-year-old son. I have a 10-year-old daughter, and I have another 10-year-old daughter. Now, my 13-year-old son be getting buck with his mom, even to the point because we live in different states, to where she calls me and is like, he hit me. And I'm like, you better fuck him up. Like, fuck him all the way.
Dumb.
Huh?
She dumb as hell. Like,
no,
have some anger issues.
You know what she tells me? She tells me what you said. I can't hit him. I can't touch him because.
All right, let me tell you something.
She literally this is literally what she tells me verbatim. I can't hit him because I don't want to go to jail. She told me that. That's what
you
she
can
told
speak
me.
it out to them. These kids have different things. They have gizmos. They have gadgets these days. They have things that you can take away from their ass that they will be fucking suffering way more than absolute can.
That you could take away his game.
Yeah, you can take away things. First off, I don't even know how that fucking could even happen. From a person that's gentle parenting Okay, like I said, that once in a blue moon ass whipping still has my son fucking scared, and he is 12. He'll be 13 next year. He won't even think about laying a finger on me because he knows some shit could possibly happen. Like, no man, and I teach him that no man should hit a woman, especially if you hit your mother. And I be telling him, like, I just, that's a long time ago.
I have to ask this question. Do you teach him that if a girl hits him, that he shouldn't hit her back?
I don't teach him that he shouldn't hit her back. I teach him if a girl hits him, you grab her. You grab her, because men are always stronger. What do you mean defend? What the fuck is he supposed to do? Knock her the fuck out? Clean out? No. You grab her by her motherfucking arms.
By her neck.
You grab her by her arms, and you can push her against the wall.
Like subdue
not
her.
shake her. You can push her against the wall. Try to reason with her. Okay? And if she does that shit again, I mean, at that rate, it's like you gotta push her down. No, it's because I went through domestic violence because I'm a beautiful bitch and motherfuckers be mad. So it's not even about all that.
I'm sorry that you had to go through that as a.
I mean, it is what it is.
Hey,
but I teach my son not to do it.
I'm sorry that you had to go through that.
And you wouldn't want your daughter. You said you have a daughter. Would you want my son to knock your fucking daughter clean the fuck out? You wouldn't want that.
I'm not.
And trust me, her son could do it.
And he truly could. You said you had a 10-year-old daughter. He could clean her the fuck up.
Show her what. Show her what
right
it's
the
like
fuck
to
up in the school because it happens. It happens right in your school.
She would be sanitized by the time he's done.
And then you're gonna try to come knock at my fucking door. My guns are gonna be bigger. So it's like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah,
I should have fixed this shit at the door. And this is what I'm teaching my son.
I hope you've learned from Trump.
My daughter, you know why those things wouldn't happen with my daughter? Because my daughter knows better than to put her hands on a man.
Why? She's watching her fucking brother beat her fucking mother up. I mean,
no, not beat her mother. It's not beat her up. It, like I said.
Well, if he hit her, she's
I already had to drive down to California and tune his ass up real quick. Like he got the game fucked up. He got the game all the way fucked up because what it is because he's bigger than her now. I'm not a small man, so he's bigger than her and he thinks that he's like running shit, and that is not, which is why I tell her all the time, like, okay, like, can we start like making our time split to where
why don't you move closer?
He's more with me because I don't want to live in California. I'm good.
Why don't you move them towards you? Something has got to change.
That was the conversation that I had with her of like, why don't we change this time split and like let him at least the ones that are like these young men.
Yeah, and this time
more with me. More with me than you, because you like what. I'm not saying that women are any less than men, but I don't believe that a woman by herself can raise a man. I don't 100%. Believe that.
I agree.
Like that's not a.
We're not men. We're like, fucking lollipops and fucking lip gloss.
No, not at all. Not at all. I was raised by a single mother. I don't believe, but that also speaks to like why I got into a lot of the shit I did. But I don't. It's not a stab at you. I just don't believe, like, especially when there's a man that wants to be there. I don't believe that women should be raising men. You know what I mean?
But wait a second. You said you had a single mother, so that's why you got into all the shit you got into. That's not true.
My mom didn't have a clue how to raise a man. Not a clue. Not one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I ripped it. I started going to jail when I was 10 years old, but I was already. I went to youth prison at 15. I didn't get out till I was 19. Then I went to big prison.
Damn. Damn.
So yeah, like I didn't grow up regular, as like what people would be like. Like my youth, I was in a cell for my teenage years. So I know like the signs of like, especially with my boys. I don't want my kids to ever have to deal with shit like that ever. You know what I mean? So I like
100%.
like I know the things like that need to be done, Because I will gladly kill the motherfuckers before they think that they're going to do some of the shit that I did.
Damn, and then you're gonna end up in jail for the rest of your fucking life.
Yeah. And guess
But
what?
why would you kill them? Let them, because then it's like you gotta let them learn too. At the end of the day, they could do better than you. How do you know they could be better than fucking you just because you learned the hard way? They can be better than you. That's it.
All right. So what?
So
if,
why you gotta take them out? That's
all right,
bullshit.
So what if the hard way is instead of them going to jail, the hard way is me whooping their motherfucking ass.
I mean, that's daddy shit, and I'm not upset at that.
It's them like being around
To straighten them out
right
so
in my
they can be
face
like,
and saying, no, this is not what's going on. This is what we gonna do. Like both my boys and my dog, they've been in sports since they were 5 years old. They do.
well, they sound like they're on the right track. So
Can we move on from this, from disciplining your child, and get back to the original topic? Or
This is all part of everything.
because now you're talking about disciplining your kids and stuff. I don't know. The room seems to not want this, right? I'm guessing
This was like indirectly related to Andrew saying God's love or something. I think that's how we got here.
Yeah. So
Basically, beat your kids. Beat your motherfucking kids.
I think it's metaphysically necessary for God to be all loving.
Maybe.
Because I think of the perfect being theology. MJ, you hate the perfect being theology, right? Or...
No, I love it.
Oh, okay, that's great. I thought I was like the only one. Yeah, with perfect being theology, all positive traits would be like omni properties for God. Right? Love is a positive trait, so God would have to be all loving. William Lane Craig makes that point, right? Dr. Craig, right? Where he says,
I don't know. Like,
he makes that point even in Islam, right? Because Islam, it doesn't teach that God is all
Did the
loving.
earth get flooded?
Did the earth get flooded? Yeah.
Did God flood the earth?
Sure.
Was that a loving thing when he killed everyone?
Yeah, I don't think that contradicts his loving nature. That would be because of the evil. He was purging the evil that was found within planet Earth.
Okay, so there's two sides to things. Like, you can sit there and sit on the side of, oh well, he did it from love, or you could realize the other side that made him flood the earth. Because there is another side. There is the other side. The side that flooded the earth. Not the loving side. The I'm gonna drown all of you side. Then that's true. That is equally and as much true as the loving side that you're focusing on.
Yeah, I don't think there's this other side, but yeah, I mean, that's
you can have good without having bad. If you don't have bad, good doesn't exist.
Why can't you have it?
If every day was sunny, you'd never know what night was.
No,
you have to have both. You gotta have both. So you saying that God doesn't have a vengeful side, you're wrong.
No, in a certain sense, I would say evil. When it comes to the way we respond to the logical problem of evil, yeah, I would say in all feasible worlds that God could actualize based on the counterfactuals of creaturely freedom, there would always be evil in all the feasible worlds that God could actualize, including the actual world. So yeah, I would say the mere existence of evil, something that's metaphysically necessary. But I wouldn't blame it on God being the one responsible for the existence of evil in that regard.
Okay, so I wasn't saying God was responsible for the existence of evil. What I was saying was that instead of saying oh well, God flooded the world because he wanted to get rid of sin and he did it out of love. Let's look at it from the other side to say that he was pissed. He was pissed.
Yeah, but being upset and loving are not inconsistent with one another.
No.
It's a thin line between love and hate.
You're not wrong in that.
Yeah.
You're not wrong in that.
And Chris, let me
see it from that side.
I got you, brother. I got you. Can I ask you? Can I take a little further? I say this too because I kind of like to get people to just think about this for a second. Let me ask you a question, Chris. Can you love somebody while killing them?
Yeah.
Think about what I just asked you. Yeah, exactly.
Fuck no.
So, yeah. So I believe you can. Well, Connie, we'll go ahead and tune that.
Depends on what we're talking about. Depends on the killing. Are we talking about pulling your fucking plug, or am I talking about slicing my fucking
That's going to be
mother's
killing. Well, right. So obviously you're saying it's context dependent, and I agree.
There you go.
But it wouldn't be just F no, right? It would be, it depends. So obviously, God can kill people while loving them. The question is that what's going on? Now, I of course think it is in the flood and everything else. I think God is love, he loves people, but it's okay. There are times that you save people from themselves and what they're going to do to other people. It's good. It's a good thing to stop people from doing things like that.
Did we get flooded right now? What do you think?
I think if it weren't for the fact that the Holy Spirit is holding sin back and there's like a plan and there's a grace period going on here, there's a time of favor. I mean, if it weren't for that, yeah, I think we would have there was some pretty wicked stuff going on back in the times of Sodom and Gomorrah and, Noah's flood and all that. But we've got some pretty gnarly things going on. Like my brother Jeremy, who just came up on stage, there's a lot of advocating for baby murder going on all around the world, which we would call abortion. And it's 73 million babies every year. 73 million. We consider the Holocaust a tragedy that happened with the Jews and all the other blacks and whoever else was they were killed systematically. That was 12 million. 12. Okay? That was 12 million. Now, every year, 73 million babies a year are being aborted. I don't even know. I can't even begin to process that. It's so disgusting. So that being said, that
makeup and skin cream and stem cell research, it's an atrocity.
Yeah, so that part of it, I haven't confirmed all of that. I'm aware that kind of stuff, the baby part selling and then processing it and using it for different things and flavorings even, I've heard. If all of that is going on, that's even more obviously wicked than you can imagine.
Rainbow, real quick, Rainbow, you said abortions wouldn't happen if men kept it in their pants, as what I'm guessing you said. That is untrue because it takes two to tango. All you have to do is say no. Because
that's not true either. I'm a woman that gets fucked too.
A very small.
A guy will straight fuck you, bust you all in your pussy, then be like, "Hey, are you gonna have that if you get pregnant?"
Can I finish my little statement? A very small portion of that 73 million, like less than 5%, are the product of rape. Women don't give it up.
That's correct. Yeah, Chris is right. It's 2%. It's like 2%. Around 2% are rape and incest. It's about 97, 98. It's very high, 97 some percent of elective abortions. That means these are not life-threatening. These are not rape and incest. Those are edge cases. So it's just the overwhelming amount of abortions are just electives. They're just elective. It's just it's not out of necessity of any sort. It's just like, hey,
you got pregnant and then you didn't want it.
So here's the irony though, Andrew, right? And I was going to mention the boys that God killed with the bear for making fun of the bald guy, but I know you don't want to get messy.
No, I want to get messy. I love getting messy. Let's get messy, Jeremy.
I wanted to address your abortion statement, right? This is Andrew, right? Who was so fiercely an American Republican that he chooses that over Jesus Christ, right? And so let me just touch on that, right? So Andrew, Canada, that has enough Christian, actually does Christian things like provide healthcare to everyone, and without regardless of their wealth, right? Provides education to everyone. Abortion rates, even though it is easy to get an abortion in Canada, it's less on a per capita basis than America, right? And so Andrew up here will fight tooth and nail against social programs, free healthcare, making it so easy for a woman to actually have a baby instead of having to fucking abort it because the cost of actually carrying a child and providing for it because you live in this fucking failed democracy, right? Oh, but Andrew, no social programs. No social programs, but let's take away women's right to decide what they do with their body. Let's force them to live in poverty and have that baby, right, Andrew? Go ahead. Tell me, and Andrew, let me ask you this. Please provide me with chapter verse, brother.
Jeremy, I would love just to say that, look, God knew you in the womb.
That's you in the womb.
That's right. He knew you in the womb. So if there are places that you can, if you have the baby and you can drop it at any fire department, any police station, anywhere. You don't have to abort it. There's a reason I have 5 children. I do not believe in that. Like,
gangster.
I love
Brother, do you think
God
God
bless
has
you,
a
sir.
baby without insurance in the United States and hospital?
Did you hear what he just said, Jeremy? You can drop the baby off. You can drop the baby off.
But Andrew, that's after the baby's born.
You guys gotta
That's
understand.
after the baby's born.
Hold
Do you know
on.
what the cost of having that baby in a hospital in America is?
You can get that covered. You can go into any hospital if you don't have funds, and they will cover that. You will be able to have a baby. They will cover all of that. Now, hold on. You'll get a bill. Now, hold on. You will get a bill. That's true. Okay. But first of all, some places will forgive that, and secondly, there are pregnancy crisis centers all over the United States. Most of them, I might add, are Christian oriented or religious oriented, but they are glad to help with these kinds of problems.
Not you guys' feelings real quick.
It's not fact that those are facts. I think I just gave you a
fact.
Like
I said, so this is a real thing that's going on. Have you guys ever looked into where the kids go when they're getting adopted in the homes? And have you guys ever seen the rate of fucking abuse and what they're doing to these kids?
Sometimes it's bad.
That they just gave the fuck up. I gave up my baby out of love, out of fucking love. Praying and hoping that my little girl would be taken care of. And here goes this fucking 59-year-old man fucking her in her ass. Are you kidding me?
So you'd rather her die?
Listen, it's not about rathering her die. It's to be honest.
That stuff needs to be reformed. That needs to be fixed too.
To be real.
Yeah, but see, that's rough though, Connie.
I would not want to ever know.
I'm a firm believer that we chose our life. That we didn't just.
And I'm a firm believer that whatever's supposed to happen to you is going to happen to you. Like you said, God knows you in the womb. God knows that that's what you were going to go through. You were supposed to get aborted. You were supposed to, because obviously that's what you are.
Christian solutions. Can we talk about Christian solutions?
Yeah, we can talk about Christian solutions. Yeah, go ahead. I just want to say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
God knowing something, and by the way, MJ and Jeremy, I hope we can all love each other. Anyway, because Jeremy, you said some pretty crazy stuff about Republicans the other day. I don't know if you remember that, but anyway, that being said, so look, God
digging up the past. That's awesome.
God can know. Well, Jeremy was being contentious. I wasn't really faulting you, but here's what I was going to say: is that God knowing what you are going to do is not the same as saying He wants you to do it. God does not want people to sit there and kill their babies. It's not like God ordained an abortion to take place. No, we are freely choosing to kill our babies like they are like they're cancer cells, or they are a tumor, or they're a parasite.
Because if that is the case, no, hold on, then let me cook. So I have 2 boys.
The pan's open.
I have 2 boys. What happened with my first son? Immediate C-section. Okay? He would have died in the womb. Let's say I didn't have a damn doctor and I decided to be at home or whatever. I couldn't get to a hospital.
Sure.
I would have died because I didn't get that C-section. Okay? Because he shitted in me or some shit like that. So it started to he had to immediately come out. I couldn't even push anymore. So are you trying to say, if I didn't have that doctor there to come take my baby out, he shouldn't be here?
No, that's not the point. Wait, go ahead, MJ.
I'm just agreeing with you. That's not the same as an abortion.
Not at all.
Right. An
I'm
abortion
just saying it's still doctor interference.
Well, doctor interference, but here, keep in mind that doctors go in to end your pregnancy, and when they do that, typically what's done is they kill the baby, and then they deliver. They actually kill the baby, or they'll deliver it, and then it dies right there on the table. It isn't the case that there is this idea of we're trying to deliver it safely. No, there's they know that it's going to kill the baby. They know that. And so they do it, and that's an intentional killing of your baby. And it's like that. It's not just a double effect. It's like